Hey friends, in a previous video I explained the Canadian student visa application process where I also discussed how to download and fill the three PDF application forms. So if you haven't watched that already, then please do that before you proceed with this one. Anyways, today we'll take a look at the documents that are required for the Canadian student visa application. Once again, I'll log into my IRCC account and here you can see my online application for study permit. So I'll click on continue application and it asks me to review my answers, and I'll just click on continue and then continue again. So these are the list of documents and application forms that we need to upload, and in one of my previous videos I already showed you how to fill three of these application forms. So we have this IMM 1294, then IMM 5257 and IMM 5645. So these three are the forms that you need to fill, and apart from these the rest are the documents that you need to upload. So let's take a look at the documents one by one. So the first one is evidence of work requirement in study, which is a required document. So since we selected yes in the requirement of work in our study in the questions before, we need to prove that work is really a requirement in our study. So if your program has a co-op or an applied internship of any kind, then you'll get a letter from your college along with your final offer letter. So in this letter it will be written that working full-time or even part-time is a requirement of the study. So here you can see evidence of work requirement in study, and by the way, this is just a copy of the original docs that I submitted. So I have neatly organized them into folders, and here you can see this folder named evidence of work requirement in study, and inside this there is just one document, which is this work permit letter. So this is the letter that I received from the University of Toronto along with my final offer letter, and it says that during this entire 16-month program I'll be required to work for 8 months at 40 hours a week, which is nothing but full time for this co-op internship. So this is the document that you need if you select yes for work requirement in your study. The next document here is the letter of acceptance, which is the final offer letter that you receive. So in my case, I received it from the University of Toronto, and this is the final offer letter. So it has some brief information about the program that I'm going to, the start and the anticipation graduation date, my student number, the address of the institution, and several other information that are required for visa purposes. And this is actually an unconditional letter. So I had submitted my official transcript to the University of Toronto. So in this letter they have not put any condition on my acceptance, but in case you haven't provided your university with your official transcript, then you'll probably be given a conditional offer letter, which again is fine. It's not a problem. You can use that as well. By the way, if you're finding value out of this video, kindly press the like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps my videos reach more people and motivates me to keep making videos like this. So the next document here is the passport, and I don't need to show what passport is like. It's just the scan of first and last page of your passport. So the next document is the proof of means of financial support. So this is a PDF document of all of the financial resources that I'm going to be using for my study, or at least what I have for my study. So the first page here is a financial statement that I've written. It's a very simple summary of what all I'll be providing in the rest of the pages here. So in the source of funds, you can see that I have taken out an education loan of 35 lakh Indian rupees, which is nothing but 3.5 million Indian rupees, and it's close to 60,000 Canadian dollars. At the same time, I have taken out a GIC, or I've opened a GIC account for 10,000 Canadian dollars. And apart from that, I've also mentioned my father's gross monthly salary, which is in Saudi Riyal, since he's working in Saudi Arabia, and I've also given a conversion of that in Canadian dollars, and my father's NRE account balance in Indian rupees, and again the same value in CAD. So the total funds available for my study, so it was actually over this value, but I've just given a safe number, which is close to like 110,000 Canadian dollars, sorry. And so this was all about the source of funds. Now let's talk about the expenses. So this is the tuition fee, and this is the value which was mentioned in my final offer letter from university. So this is just the first year tuition fee without any additional fees and all. So this is what you have to mention. Don't mention the full program fee. You just need to mention the first year tuition fee, and this value should match what is given in your offer letter. And then the living and food will be 10,000 Canadian dollars, which will be the GIC amount, and extra will be 5,000 Canadian dollars for, let's say, something like laptops and books and maybe clothes. So just put this safe amount. And so this is the financial statement, which is a summary of the documents that I'll be providing next in this same document. So the next document is the education loan sanction letter, and for every document that I've provided, I've actually added an additional cover page specifying what document I'm going to provide next, and a summary of that as well. So I've summarized the loan amount here, and this is the loan sanction letter that I got from HDFC Credila, and it has some information like the university name, course name, and so on, and also the amount here. And the next document is the GIC proof of investment, and the GIC amount is 10,000 CAD. So this is the this is a GIC proof of investment certificate that I received. The next document is the affidavit of support. So this is nothing but a letter of support from my father saying that if I need any financial support during my study, then he'll be willing to provide me with that. And I've just gotten it notarized, but it's not necessary. You can skip the notarization part. You can just get a normal letter as well. And the next document here is the father's salary certificate and salary account statement. So since my father is working in Saudi Arabia, where there is no income tax, he doesn't have ITR, which is income tax returns, and he doesn't get paychecks or salary slips. Instead, he has a salary certificate which he can ask the company to provide at any time. So that's what I did. I got the salary certificate from him, and this is what I provided. So I didn't provide any salary slips. And apart from that, there are some bank statements for his salaried account, which so this is actually quite long. We really don't need to go through this. And then the next document here is my father's NRE account statements, and the reason I provided this is because since he gets salary in a foreign account, he usually transfers most of the money back to India. So his salary account usually remains empty, like almost empty. So I provided some NRE account statements which receive this funds from him. So he has two bank accounts, two NRE accounts. So I provided the balance in Indian rupees and then the conversion in CAD, an approximate conversion of course, and the total. And through these itself, through my father's salary certificate and NRE account statements along with the GIC and loan, I was able to show way more than what is required for the entire program's fee. So I didn't feel like adding other sources like FDs and all, but yeah, if required, you can add FDs also in financial statement. And if you do that, you need to attach a letter from the bank stating that these FDs are under the name of your father and he has been holding them for quite some time. And at the end, these are the NRE bank statements again. So this is pretty much what is required in the financial statement side. The only thing you should take care of is to have this value at least greater than the sum of these. In case your father is not working abroad, in that case you'll have to also provide your father's last 4 months ITR. And for the bank statement, I forgot to tell you, you just need to provide bank statements for the past 4 months or 6 months, and that is pretty much it. The next document is the digital photo. So I had clicked my photo using my camera itself at home, and I had removed the background and replaced it with white. So the requirement that you need to fulfill for your visa is that if you wear spectacles, then you should not have glare in your spectacles. So it's actually it's better to just remove the spectacles and take the picture. So that's what I did, and this is the photo that I used for my visa. And the next document is a form, which is the family information form, which I showed you how to fill in one of my previous videos. So make sure you watch that. And apart from that, the next document again is a form, so that is again showed how to fill. And the last document here is the client information, and this is not required. So if you see, all of these documents are required, but client information is an optional document. We don't need to upload it, but I will still recommend you to do that because it will strengthen your application. So in the client information, the first document is the letter of explanation, also known as LOE or statement of purpose or SOP. So it basically summarizes your purpose of going to Canada for your studies, like why do you want to go there, what academic background you have, your professional life, and how you got inclined towards the field that you want to study, why are you interested in that field, your background in that field. And you also need to answer some questions in this, like why do you want to study in Canada specifically, why not any other country like the US or the UK, and why University of Toronto, why that specific MS program. In my case, it is MSc in Applied Computing. And similarly, you also need to write a bit about your financial support, like how are you going to finance your study there in Canada, as well as your future plans. So one of the things you need to highlight in the future plans section is that you're going to return back to your home country because you'll be having an amazing career opportunity there. So in my case, I said that since Bangalore is booming as a tech hub in India, and the kind of program that I'm going for is also inclined towards tech, I'll be having a really good career in my home country, and that is one of the strongest reasons to come here. At the same time, if I come back to India, I'll be staying with my family while also working, which is an additional bonus. So at the end, like I just reiterated that I have no plans to settle in Canada after my studies. And the final paragraph is just the conclusion, which just says that I pledge to follow all the rules and regulations, and all of the information that I've provided is genuine. So this is just the brief overview of the letter of explanation that I've written. And if you guys want me to make a detailed video on how to write a letter of explanation, then I'm ready to do it. So just let me know in the comments and I'll make a video on that too. So the next document is the medical examination information sheet. So this is the information sheet that I received after my Canada visa medical exam. So you can see all of the exams have the status as completed. So all of these tests were completed successfully. And the next document is the resume, degree certificate and transcript. So the first document here is the resume. So this is my updated resume, and I haven't really shared this with you guys till now, but I've used Figma. I've started using Figma for building resumes. It's much better than Google Docs. So I'll be making a video on this in future as to how even you can leverage Figma to make an amazing looking resume. So the next document here is the degree certificate and the final year transcript. So this is the final transcript consisting of all of the 8 semesters of my bachelor in technology. And after that we have I've provided GRE and TOEFL score reports. So this is not mandatory, as I told, none of this is mandatory to be honest. The client information is optional, but it just adds value, so I provided my GRE and TOEFL score reports. So this is my GRE score report and my TOEFL score report. So that was all about the client information section, and that is pretty much all of the documents that you need in order to apply for the Canadian study visa or study permit. Now I'll give you some tips on arranging the documents for your visa application. Maintain all of the documents in PDF format and your digital photo in PNG or JPEG. Some documents like the client info and proof of funds will require you to merge multiple PDFs into one. You can use an online tool for that. Also, each document that you upload on the portal must be under 4 megabytes in size. So some documents like your financial proof can go up to several pages in length, and they may exceed 4 MB limit. So in such a case, you'll have to use an online compressor to compress your PDF so that the final size is less than 4 megabytes. That's it for today. I hope you now have a better idea on how to arrange your documents for your study visa application. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you later.